Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
What up, YouTube? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. It's Friday. Peace and blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Oh, we got to talk. It's about to be a very, very long weekend, and I got time on my hands. I'm about to cook. Oh, yeah. Shout out to my writers, poets, and content creators. Tonight, it is going down 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Attic Virtual Open Mic is back, man. The poetry community is about to be lit. We about to have one of the largest, livest open mics ever in history. I don't care what anybody else says. Nobody's going to do it like we do it over here on this side of the internet. Make sure you tap in early while we still in the building phases. Been doing this for a couple years now, but trust me, we getting there. I got a nice little lineup for us later. So make sure you lock in 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got a couple of returning guests. Definitely worth hanging out. The vibe is always chill. There's no stress. There's no arguing. There's no drama. We just here for some good spoken. I'm ready for it. I can't wait. That's later. Today, though, right now, in this very moment, we gotta talk. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, we need to have a conversation, and it's not just about you specifically. You pretty much threw yourself out there for everybody to kind of look at under a microscope, because the dumb shit that you be doing, and I've spoken on you before, this is a little different. Not too different, but it's a little different. Where do I want to begin? All right, let's do this. Give y'all some cliff notes. Offset apparently reached out to her to have a conversation, and Miss Bryant, she took it upon herself to take a private conversation and make it public. So, seeing as how you decided to go public with another person's personal business, you have been awarded Donkey of the Day. You're going to get all of this, but I think you wanted it anyway. I think you actually asked for this, right? The way that the algorithm works, drama sales. We need drama. We need something that triggers humans. What triggers humans? Controversy, sex, etc., etc. We talk about this damn near every time we get up here. People are more interested in drama than they are healing, anything healthy, anything that is going to help build the community up, anything that's going to make your children smarter, anything that's going to keep grown men and women from sniffing bath salts and sticking their noses in a brown paper bag, sniffing glue exhaustion and shit. You want drama. You want it. You invite it. And the algorithm knows it. And Cheyenne knows it. She knows this. That's why she methodically picked out specific people to have interviews with. That's why she targeted specific folks like Corey Holcomb to go after, Nick Cannon, so on and so forth, because she knew that if she said and had discussions with those targeted audiences, that people were going to have something to say in return to her. This whole place is set up to tarnish, target, and go after a specific group of people who either don't have anything going on in their life, and so they need some form of relief from the realities of the world beating the shit out of them, or their wiring is just so messed up that emotionally and mentally they associate healthy humor with someone else's pain or struggle, someone arguing all day with the next person, someone threatening to hurt somebody. Your wiring is so screwed up that you think that getting on the internet and spewing false information and lying to men and women about how to properly deal with the opposite gender is through some form of toxic behavior patterns and attributes, which is fucking trash. So since you wanted to go up here and use that man's name to get the algorithm back on your channel, on your platform, and it really didn't matter if people hated you or felt some type of way towards you, since you went out of your way to put that out there, let's talk about it. Why did you do it? And like, what the fuck is really going on with you? Because quite honestly, I thought, and someone helped me out, right? I thought that if you were a licensed doctor of any kind, I was under the impression there's a code of ethics that you're supposed to follow. Confidentiality clauses. There are things between you and a potential client that should never leave the spaces of your office. There's no reason in the world why anything that I say in the confines of this space should be aired out to the entire world. I thought that's what people pay hundreds of dollars for. I've never done therapy, never. And I don't have nothing against it. The problem is, and I've had conversations with Jason and a couple of people on the show about this before. The problem with it is when a man or a woman decides to utilize therapy as a tool to help them, you don't really go into it with the acceptance of, I have to be vulnerable. I'm gonna have to share weaknesses. I'm gonna have to be as clear as day, exposing all of my darkness. I'm gonna have to bring the shield down, because if you're really trying to get healing and help, and you're really on a trajectory of enlightenment and clarity, and you want to be a better man or a woman, and you want to break out of the cycles and out of the dangers that you parallel in because of how you were brought up, how people treated you, what you were introduced to, the things that were sold to you as the truth, but they're really lies. If you really decide to go see someone that is licensed professionally to help you, you can't go in there half-assing it. You can't go in there omitting the truth. You have to be held accountable, meaning no one else can call you out on your shit. You have to be the one to call you out on everything that you know to be right or wrong. No one else should be doing it. If other people have to do it, you're defeating the purpose of therapy, for one. If you're going to go into therapy, you have to be as honest as possible. It's not for anyone else. Let's be perfectly clear. The shit is not for nobody else. If you're going into it for somebody else, you're lost. You go to therapy because you're mentally, emotionally, you're sick. You're physically damaging your body. You're not prolonging your lifespan. You're shortening your lifespan because of the damage that has been done to you throughout your life. Those little intrinsic things, they eat at you. They chip away at your soul. They chip away at your productivity. It cheapens your experience with this life. You don't get to go out here and live fully. You don't get to enjoy people the way that you could. You don't get to experience the fullness of your identity the way that you could when you are anchored down by a heritage that was not yours to adopt in the first place. So that's always been one of my greatest concerns with anyone who does therapy, because a lot of folks, they don't want to hear someone else professionally, or let alone just a regular family member tell them, look, man, you ain't shit. You know, you did wrong by this person. You didn't respect them. You didn't love them. You really didn't. You used them. You abused them. You were a horrible cousin, spouse, whatever. You came up short. Nobody wants to hear it. There's just people out here that refuse to take the L. And I'm trying to make a point here. For this woman, after months and months and months of like people such as Corey Holcomb and THH Network, O'Shea, Duke Jackson, people speaking on how you are not who you say you are. Not only are you not who you say you are, but you got people so convinced that you are a doctor that you have people like tonight's conversation. You have all of these social media platforms inviting you on their show. They're allowing you to speak and enlighten the audience. They're allowing you to have these woman-to-woman conversations. You sitting up here giving out diagnosis and giving out your opinions on the type of person someone is, and like you not even who you say you are. I'm a little annoyed, more so at the idea that we can just so casually let someone be full of shit with their 6th grade participation sticker and say, well, they have this, so they must be who they say they are. Okay, so they must know what they're talking about, even though we know this isn't real. This is just a piece of paper. You forged all of that shit on there, slapped some stickers on there, took a couple of pictures, and now you're a professional. You can talk to the entire nation. You can tell women how to be better women. You can tell men how to be better men. You can diagnose sick people who are going through. But we see here and there, you're exposed for being a liar. You're exposed for being full of it. You're exposed for not being this PhD or doctorate owner. Everybody is just embracing it. Nobody challenges it. Nobody says anything about it. It's just we take you for who you are, whether or not we believe that you're this person or not. And we're just supposed to just go with it. I think the fuck not. I think not. So Offset decides, I don't know where this came from. If I'm going to go to anybody, honestly, because I've never done it before, but if I'm going to go to therapy and I'm going to sit down with someone and I'm going to share my deepest, darkest secrets, shit that makes people, grown men, cry, things that are incriminating, things that are exposing all of your vulnerabilities. If I'm going to do this for real, I'm going to someone that is a professional. I'm going to someone who has the plaques on the wall. Their degrees are on the wall. Have you ever gone to a doctor's office and you never saw their degrees on the wall? I'm not going to someone who doesn't have an office. I'm not going to someone who doesn't have their own building, their own. No. I'm going to someone that I have done research on. I see your website. I see the credentials. All right. Because I'm not about to sit here and spend hundreds of dollars talking to someone who is using social media and YouTube just for the adoration. You want people to like you. You want people to lust after you and desire you and to chase after you in your inbox. You want to make money off of the pain and uncertainty of souls who are not confident in their person. No, I'm not doing that. Cheyenne Bryant is a very intelligent, conceited, Delilah level type of woman, masking these big words and reshaping and remolding them into dialogues that attack the senses of those who don't know any better and can't tell the difference between someone who is catering to their deficiencies and someone who is acknowledging that they see them in the mess that they're in. Here I am. Let me help you. She found a niche. She figured out the science. She figured out a way to connect with the right type of person. And to this day, she's still doing her thing. So much so that you got Offset reaching out to you. So I saw the clips. I saw different videos where she's basically saying, oh, yeah, he did this. And then I saw Offset reveal messages between him and her that are contrary to what she's saying. So let me see if I understand this correctly. If you were a doctor, then legally you violated all types of confidentiality clauses. Because if you're doing business, I don't give a fuck if you are a cockroach that just crawled from underneath the bed. If you decide that you're going to deal or engage with someone that is ready to confess or seek some type of help from you, and they entrust in you all of this information, and then you go to the public and you start spilling the beans about this person, you should be reprimanded, fired, canceled. You've fucked up trust completely. There's no way in the world another human being should be able to look at her and think, oh, I'm secure here. I feel safe here. I'm confident that my business is not going to get put out there for the world. She violated. And that's just even if she's really a doctor.
Fuck you.
So you violated him with false information. You lied about what your interaction was really about. You took it to social media. Why? Why would you do that? Notice, right? She didn't name, I don't know, Christy. She didn't say Billy Joe Bob name. She didn't call out Aaron, the plumber. which I expect at some point, she's going to sit down with Aaron the plumber. That's how fake this stuff is. Aaron the plumber is out here on every single page, every channel, arguing with people, fighting with people. People are making memes of him. People are taking portions of his videos and breaking them down. Eventually, he is going to cross paths with Miss Cheyenne Bryant. It's going to happen. And when it does, remember I said it here. She's going to sit right next to him. Either it's going to be a one-on-one show or it's going to be on some type of platform. And it's going to be her, him, and 3-4 other people. And they're going to get into it. Either way, it's going to happen. You know why? Because it's YouTube, it's social media. It's because those are where the ratings are. No one really cares about the healing or the help. No one cares that these people are in the dark, going through suffering. These people don't care about none of that shit. I guarantee you, they're going to sit down. It's going to be a whole circus. It's going to be a whole entire cartoon of crap. Because it's not about her doing the job that she claims she's doing. It's about her fishing out for an archetype of man that can take care of her. She's not going to admit that, though. She's looking for her celebrity husband. Yeah, I said it. She's looking for her celebrity husband, her football player, her basketball player. She's looking for her Travis Hunter, her Jaden Daniels. That one guy that's going to be set for life, and she ain't got to worry about. She's that hypergamous thinking chick, but she's masking it with this fake ass doctorate that she has, trying to give off the illusion that she's the archetype of woman that would be perfect for a man who is looking for a stable individual to marry. But she's full of shit. She's full of shit, and she's messy and unprofessional. I don't even know why the hell. Let me clear this up. Offset didn't reach out to her. She inboxed him first. She inboxed him and asked if they could have a conversation. That's how this started. And then she flipped it and tried to make it sound as if, oh, he about to hang himself. And then he stumbled upon her and said, oh, well, she's the most effective person that I know right now professionally that can help save my life.
To protect the sheep, you got to catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
Bait and switch. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Either she thinks we're just that low IQ and nobody was going to research and find out like what the fuck is going on, or she honestly thought that she could reach out to him request his presence consultation and then play it off as if she don't know nothing about it. We were just going to believe, and you know that is a reality. You see something posted on social media, you automatically just believe that it's the truth. Nah, no, there's people out here that really want to know if this is real or not, and someone exposed their dumbass, and it's women like her and men like her that they do things like this, that they find a way to pull it off successfully for X amount of years. And when you have somebody like myself or somebody else in this space that have receipts, no one believes. It's sad. And matter of fact, let me do this real quick. I want to make sure you know that you are seen and heard. And I do agree, right, Alicia, because here's the thing: is as much as these celebrities and these men and women sell their souls and they make up stories and they convolute paragraphs and create these fiction-based realities that play on the minds of folks who just need to feel accepted or want it somewhere. You can get away with it, but for so long before it really comes out, and then people are like, damn, I can't really, I can't, oh no, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe she lied to me. I can't believe she did this. These women and men be out here touching on inappropriate people. They rob you blind, go on your accounts, sleep with your family, sleep with your friends. They backdoor you at work. They sabotage your jobs. They lie on your name. They fuck your credibility up at work. They make it where you can't get employment places. They destroy your relationships with your friends and loved ones. All the while, these are your favorite people to watch. Your favorite people to enlist, and they're your go-to for advice. They're your go-to for leadership. They're your go-to for soul searching. You want to be a better man or a better woman? Go to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. You want to feel like you are doing well in a certain community, or you're against something? Go to Dr. Umar Johnson. Go to Charleston White. Go to Fresh and Fit podcast. Go listen to DDG. What?
Sensational.
The entire time, there's people like me and other smaller channels. We have conversations about this stuff. And for the most part, majority of us say the same things. These are not the people that you think they are. You need to be a little more attentive to who you're listening to and what you're listening to, because they are absolutely 1000% playing with you. They're playing with your intelligence and everything underneath that asterisk. What's going on, Miss Bryant? People are starting to forget about you, because I remember for like a good 6 months, for a good 6 months, all you saw up and down YouTube, all you saw up and down TikTok and Twitter and IG, all you saw was Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was here. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was there. Dr. Bryant said this. She said that. She did this to Cam Newton. She said this to Nick Cannon. Started dying off, though, didn't it? You still are popping up and appearing on platforms, but it isn't what it was. So now you got to throw other people under the bus. So let's say, for argument's sake, that we didn't just catch you in a bold-faced lie, right? Offset is going through a whole lots of shit. We don't know what happens within the music industry on his part, but we know he got a lot of stuff going on with him and Cardi B. You know what happens when you deal with folks with different spirits and different souls going in and out of the vessel, and you're dealing with different individuals on a daily basis. You're trading your morals in for a decimal placement. Mentally, you can't be all present. I don't care how rich a person is. I don't care how prestigious and how high on a totem pole you hold somebody. If you've done anything underhanded, if you've been deceitful, if you've been disrespectful, if your methods of moving within a system hasn't been the greatest, and I'm not talking about what's documented. I'm talking about the stuff that only you and God know about. You can lie to me. You can lie to Alicia. You can lie to everybody that's watching. You can't lie to God. God knows the stuff that's going on that we don't. How you got that house, how you got that money, how you got all of these people kissing your ass. We know. Y'all just think we're dumb. Y'all think, these little channels don't matter, or we don't see what's happening. We know what's up. But even with all of that, Offset got his shit just like the rest of us. Cardi B got hers just like the rest of us. And if he really had reached out to you, even though we know he didn't, but if he really had reached out to you, you violated on all levels. There's no returning from that. Once you cross that line and you break the trust, there's no going back. I can never look at you the same again. You took this to social media because you need your career to be revitalized. You need new clientele. And you're still fishing for a husband. Nobody can convince me otherwise.
Stop it. Get some help.
All this for attention. You don't care if it's negative or positive, because you're not going to respond to me. You're not going to respond to these comments. You ain't thinking about nobody here. It ain't going to be until someone of some type of notoriety in your eyes says something similar to what we said. As soon as they say what we said already, then you will respond. Because why? the numbers suggest that if you have a conversation with them, you have a better chance at getting a larger viewership. Argue with Fresh and Fit. Argue with O'Shea. Argue with mediocre tutorials and reviews. Argue with River TV. Their audience will do research. They will be curious, dismissive, aggressive, honest, biased. They will give you an influx of attention. They will give you exactly what you need and what you want, which is really why we are here in the first place. We know the game. We understand the science. See, people just don't want to talk about this shit. They don't want to confess or own up to it and admit that's what's happening. But you're a doctor. You just violated that man's trust. And on top of that, you lied anyway, which makes it worse. You just keep on lying. Making up things, going after specific folks because you know exactly what has to be done in order to get people to give a shit about it. If Dr. Cheyenne Bryant did anything involving mental health, she wouldn't be able to do not a single segment that didn't include name dropping somebody. That's what it is.
How dare you?
You're name dropping because you want to get back in the algorithm. We don't want you. We don't need you here. I don't need you here. I'm not saying I want you broke and homeless. What I'm saying is you full of shit and you should not be up here pretending to practice something that you do not even believe in or honor yourself. Get the hell on. Take that somewhere else. It's sad. It's sad, and like I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, right? Because we need therapists. We need healers. We need men and women who are gifted enough and have the abilities to sit down with you and have the sessions and the uncomfortable conversations without judgment. Everyone's gifts are different. And if you're someone who knows how to help someone that is broken mentally, if you're someone who knows how to calm someone with anxiety, if you're someone who knows how to unlock doors within the mind of somebody who has been traumatized, that is special. That is unique. That is God-given. That is something that desperately it needs to be in surplus and is not. And it's not really respected to the level that I think it should be. Because people like her, all it takes is the wrong or the right person to say something to you. You believe them. You go out here and practice what they told you, It don't go the way you expected it to go because it wasn't for you. And now you are affected, maybe not permanently, but you're affected for that moment of time by the false teachings and practices of someone who is doing what they're doing because of greed and selfishness. That woman is selfish, self-serving. She's great at her character. If this was WWE, she would absolutely be a main event performer because of her psychology. Now, she might be a horrible ass wrestler, but when it comes to getting on that mic, she knows how to finesse people. You'll listen to her talk and ramble for 10, 15 minutes. And within that 15 minutes, she done sprinkled in there, I want you to destroy yourself. I want you to lie to yourself. I want you to ruin your relationship. But you don't hear it because she's saying so much garbage out of her mouth that you miss those subtle little things that come within the structure of the thought process. I'm glad Offset did what he did. I'm glad he exposed those messages. But what are we really doing with her? Because there are people who still defend her. Let me ask a question. Can you still support someone who sprinkles in truth, but the intentions don't have the same motives as the actual message itself? I can't. After I found out that she wasn't really practicing, after I found out this right here, after I listened to her ramble on with Nick Cannon, and she's a lesbian / bisexual, and like, what? You got too much going on. You have way too much going on for anyone to really sit there and listen to you and take you serious whatsoever. This, and like, honestly, I mean no disrespect, because I have suffered from following someone and listening to people that really didn't have the greatest intentions. That's this stuff right here really, it makes it harder for you to love. It makes it harder for you to make friends. It makes it harder for you to know who's telling you the truth. It makes it harder for you to know what's honorable and what isn't. It distorts your perception of reality. It makes your engagements more difficult. That's one of the worst feelings, knowing that this person is intentionally doing this. Now, you said a decade. A decade. Y'all think about that for a second. This ain't 1 day, 1 week. A decade. 10, like, And then I'll tell you, I used to listen to Fresh and Fit. And then eventually, just like everybody else, things start coming out. Oh, he don't like black people. He's a culture vulture. He's racist. They hate women. Blah blah blah. And I don't judge you based on the opinions of other people. Some folks just don't like you just because they just don't like you. They don't even have a real reason, so they just make up shit. A lot of folks' careers get destroyed just because people don't like them. But I saw for myself hypocrisy. I saw the greed. They not listening to the viewers unless they pay them $20, $30, $40, $50. Depending on how much you pay them will determine if they respond to your messages when they live streaming. They charging you an arm and leg for this and that. The same Fresh and Fit that call us apes and call us monkeys and say all we do is eat bananas and watermelons and go back to that same Fresh and Fit. He the same one that take y'all money. The same one that continuously to this day will bring black women on the show. Black men on the show. And still antagonizing. And he got hundreds and thousands of people that follow him, listen to every word he say. Oh, he's a man of the culture. He helps us financially become better literate. Now we're renting properties. We're making more money because we followed his tutelage and this. No. You got to look beyond the surface. You have to peel the layers back. Did he really help you? Did you have to pay for that service? Did you have to subscribe to the Patreon to learn this shit? Did you have to subscribe to the Patreon like, come on, man. And by the time they done with you, you're not even who you used to be anymore. Everybody that's doing this don't have the greatest intentions for your life. You got to try the spirit by the spirit, and you have to know your circle. You got to know yourself. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is another culture vulture. She uses her wit and what's left of her youth and what's left of her aesthetics to ensnare people who don't have any direction. They don't read, they don't have a purpose, they don't embrace their calling. They chasing after money, sex, and women, and approval and acceptance from the world. They're broken, they're lonely, they're empty. They don't have the presence of the Holy Spirit in them. Their life is based off of the validation that they get from everybody else. I'm very, very weary and very skeptical of folks with degrees. It's one of the reasons why I never felt the need to mess with those people, because it's like you went to school. You went to school to learn ways to manipulate the mind. You spent, matter of fact, let me see. I want to know like the average time is required for that shit. Because you spent a nice little chunk of your life taking courses and classes to learn how to not only control the mind, but to manipulate it using big words and elements that only a handbook can tell you that you can push on someone to get them to see things the way you want them to. That's crazy to me. That's why I really don't trust them like that. And forgive me, but I don't know a lot of therapists that gets on YouTube and goes on random podcasts doing what she does. At least with Dr. Phil, he was in one setting for the most part. He did his shows on his own platform. It was national. Now, do I really buy into everything that he say? No. He couldn't even help Bad Baby, Cash Me Outside Girl. He couldn't do shit with her. Every time I revisit that whole thing, and I remember like it was yesterday, all I can think of was this shit is for ratings. It's just for ratings. That show made her a millionaire. If y'all really think about it, if it wasn't for Dr. Phil, she wouldn't have been what she is. Copy and paste. I have a man and a woman who joins me on a weekly basis that are legitimate. They have their degrees. They are solid. I don't agree with everything that they say, but they have their wisdom, they have their knowledge, they have all the intangibles that you would ask for from another adult. You have a better chance at getting the desired help and assistance that you're looking for from my panel than 80-90% of the people that are uploading every day. Let's make it 60. Throw her out. Go ahead, get rid of her. And after what she just did with him, I hope no one else works with her. Even though I know that's not going to happen. One, because you just got people out here that's hell bent on believing what they want to believe, regardless if it's the truth or a lie. They will stand on that forever. You will never get them to own up to the fact that they're wrong and they need to do something else moving forward. People would rather walk off the cliff You would rather look stupid in front of your peers than to be proven wrong. So not only are you looking dumb and wrong, but you're wrong and wrong. Whereas you could have just been humbled and been like, you know what, I'm wrong. I don't know what's happening here. Correct me, teach me something so that I can move forward with a different way of looking at this instead of approaching it as if what I'm facing here is no. Stop it. Please. So what's going to happen now? What should we expect? We just caught you in a lie. What's your excuse? How you're going to weasel your way out of this? You can't. You just know that you have a core group of people who don't care.
What, so I gotta sit here and eat dessert alone like I'm fucking Steven Glansberg?
Y'all will sit there and believe every single word, even though you know it ain't the truth, and still support them. She knows that. She's not really worried about it. Unless she takes a severe hit, severe enough that it makes her rethink the way that she approaches these conversations. She makes some adjustments to her attitude. She gets rid of that ego. She gets rid of that pride. She stops getting up here, acting like she's holier than thou. She's humiliated in front of her peers until the people say, we don't want no more lying ass men and women up here telling us whatever it is they think we want to hear because they're trying to make money off of us. Let's get them up out of our presence altogether until she sees the numbers decline. She's not going to change anything. You have to make your voice present. They have to know that you mean business, that you're serious, that you really don't support the manipulating. You don't support the lying. You don't support the body shaming, the mesmerizing of the eye tactics. We are not about to let you sponge off of the names of other people to get these false messages out here. No, we are not accepting it. We're not allowing it. Keep it moving. It's the only way. The only way to get those people's attention. By this time next year, they're going to know me. They're going to hear everything that I've said. They're going to know that it was the truth. And everything that they have done that got them to where they are is not going to be able to keep up anymore. You can only satisfy a person, but for so long. You can only give a person that dopamine hit for so long until it wears off and it isn't sustainable. People want something that is consistent. They require something reliable. You can't live off of drama. You can't thrive off of chaos. You cannot grow in constant back and forth gossip. He said, she said. There is no getting better. There is no healing when the arguments never lead to a solution. Every upload that I do, every live stream, we have the root of the problem, we have the diagnosis, and then we have the solution. There's always 3 portions to the conversation. Women like her, they're never going to be able to maintain this facade for very long, because you watch her because she got a nice chest. Her forehead is kind of big, a little recessive, like the sand on the beach when the waves come in and then it goes back into the ocean. She kind of got like that kind of thing going on. But she's antagonistic. Her style and her approach, it only satisfy you, but for so long you're going to get tired of it. Especially if you're a woman who listens to her. If you're a woman who listens to her, you're who I want to hear from. I want to know, has her wisdom helped you find a husband? I want to know if her wisdom has gotten you engaged. I want to know if her wisdom has gotten you out of a broken place. If it's corrected your behavior patterns. Because she's not I'm gonna hold you accountable type of person. The only individuals that she holds accountable or attempts to hold accountable is men. Her niche is attacking men. Her niche is going after men. Her niche is pushing those triggers and inciting something within the women who engaged in those type of men, for them to side with her. That's what she does. She doesn't give you a fair assessment on men and women. She's very biased. The fact that she even tried to sit up here and make it seem as if she was really concerned about Offset and she was trying to, no, the hell you're not. We just listened to you go off on Nick Cannon and Cam Newton. What was all that for? What did we learn from it? What did Cam Newton and Nick Cannon get from that one-on-one? Have a conversation with Candace Owens. Sit down with Pierce Morgan. Sit down with one of those. Let's talk. Let's really have it out. Those were fruitless discussions. The fact of the matter is, they are richer than you. Their names are light years ahead of yours. And you needed them them to push you out there further for others to recognize who you were. Without them attached to that conversation, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have clicked on your IG or none of that would have happened. And now you're spinning the block to do it again. That's all it really is. Of course, we're the stupid ones though. We don't know what's happening. We don't know politics. We don't know the rules and how this works. You should feel ashamed of yourself, but I know you don't. You could care less. There's not to you, and this ain't unethical at all. You just sit up here and play with somebody's life. But she's going to get more people to talk to her. My guess is I give it, if I had to make an assessment, I give it another month, a couple of weeks, 2 months tops. Her and Aaron the plumber will sit down and have a conversation. Her and Aaron the plumber will absolutely get into something. This ain't the last time she's going to name drop somebody. This is the only way she knows how to get anything going on. But to the people who do use therapy, I hope this doesn't discourage you. I believe there's some decent folks out here, man, with real, true intentions. Unfortunately, she makes it a little more difficult. Because what she represents and what she stands for is not honorable. Sorry to say it. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with her. I brought this up specifically because to the ones that watch me, I need you to know where I stand with it. I don't want you to fall under this category of listening to every single thing a person says, because like even with me, you don't have to listen to shit I'm saying either. I ain't got 1 million degrees. I didn't go to college. I just understand life, and my experiences allowed me to speak on certain things without any doubt or fear or worry. I just have been there, so I can talk about it. I wouldn't advise anyone go to her for anything though. Do your research before you go looking into this, before you decide to pour and bear your soul out. Happy Friday to everybody, man. Happy Friday. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Yesterday was a hell of a good show. I don't know if y'all got a chance to watch the Joe Gatto, Xavier Worthy show we did. 2 hours, absolutely cooked. Check that one out if you didn't. I'm working on some more uploads, some more reaction videos. If you haven't caught any of my prior ones, check those out. The Addict open mic tonight, 8 o'clock. About to get busy. It's about to be a very long weekend. I'm covering a case Saturday. We got a lot to talk about, man. So I thank you, Alicia, and everybody who pulled up. Do me a solid if you would. Like, repost, share this out. Let the people know we here present. We here every week, Lord willing. We got everything that you need: mental health, spiritual health, relationship advice. We talk about everything up here. Go check the resume. Go check the history. It's there. It's available. It's free. Majority of it is just like we just up here just talking our stuff, man. Comfortable, relaxing. We not scripted. It's just people from different walks of life coming together talking about things that the community just are too afraid to talk about. But I will see you guys later on this evening. About to get back in the lab, do some more cooking up. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you are, I thank you for joining us over here. If you have any topics, anything that you want to see us discuss up here, email me. Everything is at the bottom. You want to stay in contact, everything's at the bottom. I'm very responsive, always engaged with the people, as long as you're respectful. Outside of that, man, y'all enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I will see you guys later on this evening. You dig?